Hello, everybody. Spider here, the Fight Card Podcast, coming to you from San Antonio, Texas. Being joined by Warren Stewart. Man, how are you,
What's
bro?
going on? Not too bad, bro. Not too bad, man. In Louisiana right now.
Yeah, bro. You're traveling with the band, man. You're everywhere. Where are you at right now?
Right now I'm in Monroe, Louisiana right now. Just looked at the venue. I've been doing a little bit of passing out flyers, spreading the word out. I'm leaving out probably later on tonight or tomorrow to go to Michigan for the fight this week going on.
And what? How many hours for the drive, man? What are you looking at?
Uh, so from Alabama to here was 8 hours. Now be driving 15 hours.
Damn, man. And you're gonna drive straight.
I'm gonna try, man. I'm gonna see how I feel. I get in a little groove on, when I'm driving, and I just like, all right, I'm just gonna keep on going.
Man, and have you ever been to Michigan, man? Have you been out there?
No, man, this is actually going to be really, really cool for me because Michigan, I heard, has a lot of good fighters out there, a lot of good gyms out of there. Uh, Plus, even too, I get to smoke some little funny trees out there. I could go to a little store, bitch, spin trees, and go try out some cool, smoke, and that's kind of really awesome, you know. I'm actually excited to be in Michigan, going to Michigan because, man, like I said, I never been there. I heard, I know it's a lot of good fighters that came out of there. It's still coming out of there. Um, Definitely really excited to actually see it.
Oh yeah, man, and that's what I was asking because I've never been. I have family that lives out there, but the only thing I know from Michigan is when it gets too cold, everybody comes down to Texas, man. That's all I know, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard the same thing.
But bro, of course, you're going to be out there for the B2 Fighting Series that's happening this Saturday. I mean, the card itself, I wrote down some of the matches just from the ones that they posted on there, man. But just from being there, having worked with the promotion, man. I mean, what are your thoughts on some of the fights they've been matching up?
Oh man, the matchmaker, Mr. Hard Rock and Andy Law, man, dude, they've been putting on really good, matches. Even the one from Saturday night up in Alabama, man, those good fights. You know what I mean? Uh, I mean, really good fights. Even the main event was actually a really, really, good technical fight. I got to watch, and I actually got to wrap, the main event hands.
Oh, nice.
That was really cool.
Man,
But
and I gotta ask because I mean you're a fighter yourself, man. You've been fighting for years. When you're out there watching the fights, is your body twitching? Like, are you trying to stuff a takedown and block a kick?
I get really excited, like watching them. It just, it makes me actually sit back and like and really enjoy it because all these years of me fighting, I never really got to sit down and watch fights and actually go, man, this is a one crazy ass knockout or crazy submission. I never really got to do all that. Now I get to do it, and I get to actually study and learn. How all these fighters train. How they fight, how they think. And I think what's cool about it is I'm one of the guys that give out the gloves. I'm one of the guys that help out, wrapping hands. You got my boy Van Tactic Vo. He wraps hands, and I sometimes wrap hands, but I'm the one that giving out the gloves and stuff. And I try to build a relationship with these fighters. Before they even go in that ring, I like to like see what they thinking about. And it's really awesome.
Oh, and I was gonna say, I don't think you've ever been to a fight that you didn't fight in, or a fight card that you didn't
Yeah.
fight. Because I know, I mean, after your fights, I mean, you get to sit back and watch what's going on, but to actually show up to a fight, card and not have to be in it, it's gotta be good, man.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I see, a lot of these fighters, man. It's you can see the nervous out of them. And that's how it kind of, you know, I'm able to feel what they feeling because I've been there. I tell them, take deep breaths, relax, because that's how I used to do it. When I was a little nervous, and when I say nervous, it wasn't, oh, I'm scared of that opponent. It was just, you fighting in front of people. Anything can happen. Anything can happen. The worst thing you want to do, go, especially in my mind, I'm like, man, I hope I, use the restroom and finish whatever is out of my stomach. I hope I don't, you know, crap on my pants inside the ring or something. That's what I mean by nervousness. Because I always had bubble guts. Getting ready to fight.
The nerves never go, but you get to kind of use them for your own good, right? I mean, you get the nerves and
Oh
you
yeah.
start thinking about the
Oh yeah.
fight.
I
Man, let me,
use that as a weapon.
right now, I mean, of course, you are in Louisiana. You just drove last night. We talked a little bit yesterday. And
Yeah.
when it comes to driving, is this the most driving you've done in your whole life?
Yes. Oh yes. But it's really cool because it gives me time to actually when I'm on the road think about you know does everything far as what's the next game plan for myself. How can I once I get to this town, you know how can I promote this show better. It's a lot of thinking for me when I'm on the road, and I enjoy it just because it's just me. you know Yes, it gets a little lonely, but I'm not gonna lie. I end up chatting with anybody, and you know, this brother got a little dating app. I'll be trying to go out on some type of date or something. I like to work hard, but I also like to play even harder.
No, man. And let me ask you, man, because this next fight is going to be this Saturday in Novi, Michigan. I mean, the card itself, man. I mean, I wrote down some of the fights right now or earlier, but I mean, like the main event, you got Jason Butcher, 13-4, taking on Daquan Townsend, man, at 22-12. I mean, experience, bro. It's there. The main event. Both guys are local to Michigan, so of course, bragging rights. Nobody wants to lose. It is for the title. I mean, Jason is the light heavyweight champion. So,
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to defending a title, man, I mean, the nerves. I mean, do they double? You get even more nervous because now you're like, I can't lose this?
Uh, for me, I don't think it's the nervous on that part. I think it's more of um, I really got to get it. You know what I mean? I got to really keep this. I think for me, when I get nervous, it's going out of town. You know what I mean? Because I'm in a whole new area, and I'm like, I don't have my crowd behind me. But for a title, I don't think probably some of these fighters do, but I think most of these fighters, if they fit in the title or they trying to get that title, I don't think it's nerve. I think they like, dude, I really need to, have a grimy war battle. I can get this belt or keep this belt.
No, yeah, man. Because I mean, of course, when it comes to being a fighter, man. I mean, of course, you've known this. I mean, you got to travel, so now you got to cut weight. Now you're having to
Yeah.
do a press conference, everything that goes with it. So, I mean, does it do more harm than good? I mean, obviously you got to do it, but could there be an easier way for the fighter just to kind of weigh in and go and start getting mentally ready for this fight?
I mean, you know, I, every fight is different, but I do trust, explain to fighters, if you got to go travel, to an event and, you still having to cut weight, find your own peace. Find your own peace in your own head. You know, you don't get all grouchy and just want to you know, go off the wall, because don't get me wrong, I've been miserable before a bunch of times, especially coming out in Louisiana having to cut weight or Oklahoma, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I'm in the back seat, hot boxing, the car, and I see my cornermans, they sweating, But I think about it. I'm like, dude, this is a purpose. You know what I mean? I'm not doing it just to do it. I'm doing it because one, I'm fighting for a title, or two, I'm I'm trying to fight for me and prove to myself. You know what I mean? The
No, yeah.
traveling should be a little easier. It's not easy, but it should be easier just because your coaches, whoever's in your corner, is going with you. That means if you got to drive and you cutting weight, I always thought about my my corner guys before I thought about myself, because I'm like, all right, I know I'm cutting weight, but they cutting weight with me and they don't have to, or they starving themselves and they don't have to. I kind of like, keep my mind, like, all right, I got other guys I have to think about besides myself, you know.
Oh yeah, man. Because I mean, they could be next to you eating a hamburger, but they don't, right? Because you got to cut weight, man.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, me, I'm kind of an asshole, man, I have done it so many times, I tell everybody, especially with me, if I gotta cut weight, I will tell you, dude, you do not have to starve yourself. Go eat a burger, whatever, because I will. I will. Cause for me, it's like, shoot, you the one doing it. So all I gotta do, I'm just be happy I'm here for you. but but you do have, very loyal, coaches and corner guys. It will start with you, you know. That's very honorable, because, they don't have to do it, They really don't.
You see, and I always tell people this, man, because back in the day, like when everybody, I go to the weigh-ins, like I wouldn't eat breakfast, man. I myself, I would starve till after the weigh-ins, man, and I wouldn't eat for like 6, 7 hours, and by the time I'm done, I'm like crap. So I can imagine how you guys are feeling, But I would do it
Yeah.
out of I don't know why I would do it, probably out of respect, or I just out of fear. I didn't want y'all to smell food on me and beat my ass, man. But,
Oh man.
you
No, I get it too though. Like I said, everybody different, preacher's own, I sometimes would do it, but I'm not gonna lie. I guess because I've been a fighter. I have cut all this weight before. I'll look at you. I'm like, dude, you better hold your nose, hold your breath or something, but I'm gonna eat, player. Hey, got you on your hands. I got you the direction. I got you, but I am not starving myself. But like I said, everybody a little different.
know, bro, well, this card, man, I'm gonna go over some of the bouts real quick, just so people watching can see.
Yeah.
Tip Brown, he's 4-3, taking on CJ Hunter 7-8. This is gonna be for the light heavyweight division. We're gonna have Alana Asset. She's gonna be fighting in the strawweight division. Man, this fight, I think her opponent is Kyra Sisson. Her
Yeah.
nickname's just Sensation, man. So we're gonna see, because it's gonna be a good fight, man. I believe Alana's 0-1. Her opponent 3-4. I'm not sure if the record was accurate, but I'm looking forward to it, man. I always see women's fight tonight.
Oh yeah, the one Saturday night was really good, man. They was amateur girls, and dude, they put on a hell of a fight. I hands down, I will tell, I tell you, it could be a lot of bias to it or whatever. I love watching female fights. You know what I mean? Yeah, I feel like they fight harder than the guys. I mean, female fights, they just, once that bell rings, they ding 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 ding, ding. Wow, it's like rock a sock 'em. But I will tell you though, I couldn't date no fighter, man. I done it one time. I like watching a fight, watching female fighters. Can't date no female fighters, man. Man, that's it would hurt the heart.
Hey, man, and then, you gotta train them, and then something slips, they whack you, man. You never know, man.
Yeah, oh man, yeah, did I look at it too. You just you don't want to see them get beat up, get black eyes. I remember dating a girl years ago. Years ago, she was a fighter. And she would get bruised easily. man, you know, you walking around her, people looking at you like, damn, you whooped the hell out of her. I'm like, no, I did.
I wasn't here to think about that, man. That's funny, bro. But yeah, dude. I mean, people are like, man, why are you still with them? You're like, what?
Yeah.
I
But
had
you know, like I said, I love, you know, watching female fights, you know, just because, you know, they are very, very, you know, passionate what they do. You know what I mean? Each time I B2 put on female fights, man, I try to watch it a lot, you know, especially man, I forgot which card this was. Like a couple months ago, they had the super heavyweight female fight. I never seen that before. Or no, it was heavyweight female fight. And I was like, holy shit, they're duking it out, banging it out. And that was really awesome. You know what I mean? And you know, like I said, these female fights has been going on B2. Man, dude, it's been awesome, man. They've been really awesome. Like I said, no, nothing against none of the male fighters. You know, hey, I'm a male fighter too, but you know, you do see the difference between how the female fighters fight and the male fighters. You know, it's like female having, you know, yes, at the end of the day they have something to prove. You know what I mean? It's technically a man's sport in a way, you know, but really females are taking over, but they still in their head know they have something to prove, you know, both ends, you know. That's why I really like watching the female fights, just because man, they fight their ass off, you know, blood, sweat, and tears. They don't care, they don't give up, you know. That's something I do like.
see, and I see a lot more technique, not from not saying that a lot of the guys aren't, but I mean, they aren't technical, but the female fighters are a lot more technical, man. And I see because they don't have the I guess they don't like a guy like you said. They just want to get up and start smashing everything, man. Like the women, they kind of pick accuracy. They pick their shots. They kind of, you know, and then
And
because it's for an entertaining fight, man.
yeah, and you know, and you got to look at it like this too. You know, most females I have trained with, they don't only female. You know what I mean? They have to be technical because they don't have 20 females in the gym they get to spar with. They might get one or two, but the rest of them dudes, and they have to use their craft to outwork us because, you know, I tell any female fighter, I don't take it easy on nobody. You know what I mean? I don't take it easy on females. When I spar with females, oh dude, I'm going mayhem on them. You know, just like a dude. I'm gonna treat you just like a dude. You know what I mean? But you know, a lot of these female fighters respect that. It makes them work harder. But that's why I really like watching these fights because it's so technical because they have to be because most of them do not have enough, you know, female training partners.
Oh yeah, and it happens a lot because when it comes to a regional card, a lot of the girls fight each other because the promotion is, you know, local. But when it comes to them fighting outside the state, they always train together, man, because of that. You know, they don't have training partners in their gym or their area, and I think that's a cool thing that they get to cross train like that.
Yeah, because I mean, female fighters are still growing. You know what I mean? It's not like a male. You know, it's going to be more males than female going to a gym. You know what I mean? And you know, and I will say these females have to fight even harder. You know what I mean? They have no choice to fight even harder. You know, um, just everything. You know.
Yeah, especially when there's more men, like you said, than women for them to spar with. You know, they kind of have to, man. So yeah, respect to them, man. That takes a lot, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let me drop some of the other names for the card real quick, boss. Of course, we're gonna have Adam Carr, featherweight division 3-1, taking on Tobias Taylor 4-3. We're gonna have Tyler Wildmo, I believe I pronounced his name. This is gonna be in the for the amateur fights middleweight title against David Richardson 2-2. That one right there, man. I mean, they're still amateurs, but I mean, of course, nobody wants to lose. You know, what's the best thing you would say to an amateur fighter? I mean, would you tell him, hey, take as many fights as you can, get as much experience, or would you tell him to take the easy way and pick his opponents and pick his fights, man?
Um, oh man, that's hard. It's hard, but it's not hard. I say if you're a young fighter, a young amateur fighter, take all the amateur fights you can till you hit 25. You know what I mean? Because most of these now amateur fighters are 18 years old and everything fighting. But if you're a little older, you're an amateur fighter, I say take a take at least 5 fights, 5 amateur fights, 5 6 amateur fights, and go pro. Especially if you got a family, you got kids. You in your middle 20, you about 25 and up. That's where you have to say, all right, I can't stay amateur for that long. Let me take about good 5 6 fights before I go pro. You know what I mean? But I will tell it's a that's a good question. Yeah, I think for me is if you're young, you're 18, take as much fights you can. You're gonna heal fast. You know what I mean? You're gonna heal fast and you're able to still keep on going. You're a little bit older and you're still amateur. Yes, you have to pick and choose. Just because you know can't do this forever. You know, but 'cause I know a lot of guys, man. They got like 10 amateur fights. I'm like, why? There ain't no point in going having 10 amateur fights. I can see it if you young. You young, you 18 and 25, but once you go 25 and up, that's where the money. You need to make money, because that's where you start having a family, having kids, and you got a career job and fighting, or you trying to make fighting your career job. You can't do this if you still fighting, for free. You know,
Yeah.
that's
No,
that's my opinion.
yeah, you see, and that's actually, I've never thought about it that way as far as the age limit, because yeah, you don't want to be 30 years old and fighting amateur, at least not for forever, because
Yeah,
at the age, once we get older, man, it's harder for us to get out, bro.
yeah, dude. What funny is, man, I know guys are in their 30s are still doing amateur. I'm like, why? I'm like, it's still no different from amateur and pro. I'm like, I'm scared to do amateur. I'll be honest, I'll be scared to do amateur fights.
Yeah.
I just say it like that. For one reason, when you train with pro fighters, probably all every day, then on top of that, you eager. You eager. You got something to prove. You know what I mean? That's like you a brown belt rolling with a white belt.
Yeah.
Man, you like, oh man, I want you to kick me in my balls trying to pass a guard or something. Yeah, age is a factor, like if you look at boxing, and this is how I really look at MMA. You look at boxers, right? And you look at the amateur boxers, they do golden gloves, they do, national and all this other stuff. And by the time they have 100 and something amateur fights, right? Most of them. And they go straight pro once they hit 2021, maybe 25, because they know, all right, it's time to get some money. It's time to get this money in because now I'm training and you're going to catch injuries in training. That's just regardless.
Yeah.
Why catch injuries in training and you still an amateur, you know what I mean? And you in your 30s or, late 20s, because I seen it, man. I seen guys blow out their ACL in training.
Yeah.
And they still an amateur, and they're like, "Oh fuck, man, I'm broke." Well, take 4 or 5 fights. It's no different. The rules are just a little tad different in certain states.
Yeah. Folks, I mean, that's true, man. And because I saw a fight over the weekend for LFA, and one of the guys, I guess the last fight he had for LFA, he was warming up in the back, and you could see where he like ended up pulling a muscle, dude, or it tore, or he got injured, right? He's still
Yeah,
on, but it's like, I mean, it can be that easy, man. You can be stretching and you can hurt yourself, man. So yeah, I mean, if you're gonna be out there, you might as well make some money, man.
yeah, and that's like I said, it's cool to get a title belt at an amateur. I
Right.
mean, that's good on your resume. But should you have to go 10? Do you have to go 10 fights to get an amateur belt? No. You know what I mean? You should not you know, have to do 10 fights to get an amateur belt. Should be going minimum of 5. You know what I mean? That
That's another thing too, because a lot of times when I see an amateur title fight, I always assume that the one who wins is the one that's gonna go pro. Because a lot of times that's kind of like the okay, I made it, I won a title, and now I'm ready. But it shouldn't be that way, though, right?
yeah. I see these guys. I see these guys. They win a title. Then they try to go to another organization for another title or something. You're like, wow, what was the point of that? Doing all that? No, those titles don't mean yes. It looks good on your resume for the UFC and Bellator, but in the day, it don't mean shit.
Yeah,
Just because that's amateur,
yeah,
amateur pro. Yes, it's still different. You know, when I say it's still the same, but it's different. Meaning by, yeah, some states you can't throw elbows and knees.
yeah.
And that's just a little. That's just we call it two little tools you can't do. You know what I mean? But everything's the same. You still can get hurt. As an amateur, as a pro, you can still get hurt at the same time. Same way. You
No,
know, that's why I look at it really. When you win a title belt, maybe defend that title belt one time.
yeah,
That should be your sixth. That should be your sixth fight right there. You know what I mean? At your fifth fight, you should, as an amateur, already fighting for a title. Then at your sixth fight, you should be defending your title and saying, "All right, I fit my title. Now it's time to go pro."
yeah.
I think that's the smartest thing to do because that saves your career, but it also starts allowing you to make money now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Really making money when you're going pro.
Now, let me ask you, man, because even now, like, I got to talk to you guys Saturday night a little bit before the show started, and I was asking your one of your crew members, man, if because she's fighting soon, and I was like, man, are you gonna set up stage or you're gonna fight in? But obviously I was joking, but for you, because you guys are setting up the cage, man, do you kind of like think back and think, man, okay, well, all this was done before we got to step in there? I mean, do you take that into consideration now?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's fun, crazy. You asked that because me and Bambo, we were talking about it, and he trying to fight again pretty soon, and and when we were talking about it, it was like it's like, man, if we had this coming up, dude, this would have just been awesome, awesome. He's like, now we in the situation we in now, we get to work the event and still fight. It's like, because somebody asked him, do you need time off? He's like, no, like I don't need no time off.
Yeah.
I can still keep on doing what I'm doing, setting up the arena and fight. He's like, shoot, I more likely will fight in. How about after the fight? You know what I mean? But that's the type of guy me and Van are. You know.
Right, right. No, yeah, man. But it's nice that you get, you have that option, man. Because yeah,
Yeah.
if the fight takes more out of you, then you can be like, all right, I'm gonna sit it out, rest
Yeah.
up. But that's
Yeah.
good. So this weekend you are gonna be in Michigan on Saturday. Are you getting there a little early?
Yes, I'm gonna get there by Wednesday. I can do a little bit of advertising out there, try to, promote the show a little bit more, try to do my part, then start setting up and just get ready, to put on an amazing show. Like I said, Saturday was a good one. This one gonna be another good one. You know, we've been having some really good fights and trying to keep this on. And I will tell you, you know, any fighters out there, you know, especially in the Texas area, and wants to fight for B2, you know, let me know. Hit me up on social media or something. You know, B2 is always looking for new talent, veterans, even to work. You know, you don't have to be a fighter to work for this company. You like, man, I really like what you guys are doing. Where's the application at? You know, hit me up. You know, I'll send you to the right direction.
No, no, definitely, man. And I know, like I said, dude, I wish I was there, bro, because you're definitely making it look like fun. I mean, I appreciate you guys doing what you're doing, of course. But man, I'm gonna finish this up, Warren. But don't hang up yet. And everybody else out there, man, this is DeFi Card Podcast. Spider here. Follow up. Go to our YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, wherever we're at, we're at. Till next time, follow up.